So we start by lying on the back. And as so often, take a moment just to rest. Be on your back, lying, and feel, sense how you lie, how you make a contact with the floor. For example, if your nose is pointing straight upwards to the ceiling, or if it's a little bit turned to the left, not the nose, but the head turned to the left and to the right, which would mean that the spot where your head is resting on the floor is a little bit to the left or to the right on the back of your head. And the same goes for your shoulders. Maybe it's not 100% symmetrical, but you maybe have more weight on your left shoulder than your right shoulder, or one part of your chest presses down stronger on the floor. Stronger contact. Same for your pelvis, your buttocks. Maybe the contact with the floor is a little bit more on the left side or more towards the lower back, and on the other side it's more towards your feet. Something not 100% symmetrical would make sense. And then bring your attention to your legs. And we will start with the left leg. So bring your attention to your left leg. As your left leg is resting. And where does your leg start? And as for a movement, start to roll your leg a little bit to the right or to the left, just like you would roll a bottle on a table. The whole leg, yes, the entire leg rolling, but not as a fitness exercise. So we don't exercise the muscles for rolling, but we exercise the brain, we exercise our ability to observe, to produce very refined, slow movements. So how far can you roll to the inside? And when you let go, the leg will fall or roll to the outside. How far is that? And we produce delicate movements and we sense these movements. And how do you even feel or sense that your leg is rolling when you're not looking at it? So how do you know the leg is rolling when you don't look at it? So probably you can feel something, the clothes or your bed sheet if you have one, or the pressure points on the floor are changing. What is it that tells you that the leg is rolling? So that's our first movement. The leg rolls a little bit. So first movement, the leg is rolling. And the second movement, the knee is bending. Bend the left knee out to the left. And our focus is to combine these two movements. The rolling of the leg, so the leg rolls until it cannot roll any further, and then the left knee bends to the left until it cannot bend any further, and then return the leg to lying. Again, so you roll your leg to the outside until it does not roll any further, and then you bend your left knee to the outside until it does not bend any further. So, and that's where we stop with the second movement, and relax and slowly return. And what do you sense in this movement? So if you continue with this movement, and if I continue talking, you will sense that your foot is drawn upwards towards your left buttocks, isn't it? How far? Where does it stop? How far can your knee bend? How far can your leg roll? And when you breathe and when you are in a relaxed state, in easy fashion, then you will feel that your pelvis is rolling to the left when your left knee is bent to the left, isn't it? Because your left leg has a weight to it, and that will turn the pelvis. So when your left knee is to the outside, your right buttocks will not be in as strong a contact with the floor as your left one, isn't it? And there might be a twist in your chest, and You might also roll your head and have your arms relaxed. So don't try to hold on to the carpet or your bed with your hands. Just let yourself fully fall to the floor. Accept the floor. Accept being wherever it is you're lying. And don't hold yourself, just be. Be lying and dive deep into this little movement of the first movement of rolling the leg and the second movement of bending your knee to the outside. And maybe your head rolls and your eyes rolls, maybe your jaw can relax, maybe your tongue can relax, maybe your breathing can become more at ease. And then let's add a third movement to the sequence. So first, roll the leg. Second, bend the knee. And third, bring your foot to standing so that your left foot is standing and your left knee is pointing towards the ceiling. So that's the third movement, to stand the foot. And then the same way back, unstand the foot by tilting your left leg to the left, so the left knee comes to the floor again, the pelvis rolls, your chest twists, maybe your head rolls, and then extend your knee until you do the last bit of rolling with your leg, and then there it is, your leg is resting. So on the way back, is there a rolling in the end or not? And the next time your left leg is long, is resting, extended, feel where it is resting, extended, where did it come, where is its home position, the end position of the movement, and feel how you're resting. Maybe you feel your pelvis is tilted now, maybe you feel your head is not in the center anymore. Maybe you feel your left side has a better contact with the floor. What is it that you sense now, that you feel now? And then bring your attention to the right leg and do the same sequence on your right side with your right leg. So only 3 movements. Roll your right leg, and after the rolling, what was next? Exactly the bending. Bend your right knee to the outside, to the right, and do that maybe for 2 or 3 times. Slowly, slowly. Give yourself a chance to sense, not only to produce the movement, but also to sense. Sense what is different on this side, what is better, what is worse, what is smoother, easier, more available. And the next time your right leg is extended, take a rest and see if your right side became more like your left side again. If your right side is more, where's the end position of your right leg? And then bring your attention again to your left leg and bring your left foot to standing in this kind of fashion. So roll your left leg, and bend your left knee and stand your left foot until your left foot is standing. And then we will add a 4th movement. The 4th movement is to press with your left foot against the floor, but you're at ease, you're relaxed. So that means when you press with your left foot against the floor, the left side of your pelvis will lift, your pelvis will roll to the right, your chest will twist, maybe your head will slide, maybe your head will slide, maybe your head will roll, maybe with your left hand you move closer to your left foot. Maybe, maybe not. See what happens when you press with your left foot against the floor a couple of times. And Also, so when you press with your left foot against the floor and keep pressing so that your pelvis is rolled a little bit to the right and stay in this position. And then while your left side, your left buttock is a little bit up from the floor, bring your attention to your right leg and start to roll your right leg. So this position, do it again. So come down to stand your left foot and then push with your left foot and notice how your right leg rolls a little bit when you push with your left foot against the floor. You push with your left foot against the floor, the pelvis rolls to the right and your right leg rolls a little bit. It's like a jump start for the right leg to bend, the right knee to bend to the right, to come around the corner and stand your right foot. Did you get that? One more time. So you press with your left foot against the floor, the pelvis rolls to the right, which gives the right leg a little roll, a little jump start, so you can bend your right knee to the right and stand your right foot. And with these movements, we can have a lot of combinations. And I would suggest now to play a little bit with this. For example, with your legs long as a starting position, and then your right leg roll and your right knee bend to stand your right foot, and then push with your right foot to roll your pelvis to the left, which jump start the left leg, and then bend your left foot and bring it up to standing. And of course, the knee can not only tilt to the outside, but also to the inside. So what kind of possibilities emerge from this variation? So, for example, you could roll both knees to the same side, bend both knees to the left when you bring them to stand, or sink both of them to the right. You can move them together or separately. And keep your breathing at ease and let your chest twist and roll and your head roll and slide from one side to the other. Submit yourself to the floor. The floor will support you wherever you touch it, be it on the tip of your left shoulder or the middle of your back. Wherever you touch the floor. Where do you touch the floor when you roll? And when you move your legs in this fun little relaxed fashion, not only relaxed, but it's very structured, this sequence, but from this structure we can be creative and make our own fancy leg movements. And that's pretty nice, isn't it? All right, so after a couple of rounds with your legs, extend your legs again. And take a rest and just feel how you rest now. The legs are so big, so much blood, so much circulation going on, especially if the chest is allowed to bend and twist and be at ease and follow the lead of the legs. And before we end this session, this very short little leg session, come to sit and lean on your hands. So lean on your arms actually. So to sit and lean on your arms. And then stand one foot after the other with the same technique to roll one leg, to bend one knee, and then stand the foot. So the same thing we just did in lying down. Try it by sitting and leaning on your arms or leaning on your elbows if you want to have a little bit of a challenge. But lean on your hands, bring your legs to stand, Or, for example, if your feet are standing, you could tilt the left knee to the floor, inside or outside, to tilt the left knee down to the right foot, or the right knee down to the left foot. Which is not so different from what we just did. And I would not call this a hip mobility exercise. And you might already feel why. There's not so much movement required in the hips as it is required in the chest. So this is actually a chest mobility exercise. The chest needs to lengthen and side bend and twist and accommodate the movement of the pelvis. And once you realize that the chest needs to move and your head needs to move, I mean, that's a great support for the hip joints. So it's more like a support lesson than a movement drill for the hip joints. And isn't that nice to extend the legs and move the legs in many different ways? Starting from this very structured movement. Movement 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just play with it. Let's take a last rest on the back. Come to lie down on your back again and just feel how it is to lie down on the back after such a movement exploration, movement discovery session. How is lying down now different than before? Who would have thought that we can improve lying flat? Now, the last thing left to do is to come up, maybe using the new technique for the legs, a little bit in the coming up, and come up to standing and feel how it is to stand and to be upright, to be on your legs, to be back into this world, standing, facing the world, and walk. More grounded, more easy, more better. Thank you so much for participating, for watching. My name is Alfons and see you in the next video.